Right.
That's.
Yeah, well, very good. Corporation, which we're doing. Our curb appeal program, which you're all aware of, and thanks again to the council for supporting that, continues. We've had 24 successful applications for a total of just under $6,000 distributed. That leaves us with just over $4,000 to still distribute. So we are still actively pursuing more applicants to the curb appeal program, especially from businesses, which has a slightly higher cap in terms of what we will match. Thank you for adding at the last meeting, the last council meeting to the agenda to talk to the professors from Youngstown and Pitt. We talked about the mapping open spaces project at Stooksdale. That work will continue with the support of SEDCO, including an opportunity for a community data walk that would be advertised and become Swiss. And SEDCO has one other announcement. We've begun the process of collecting information from businesses in the community that we are intending to use towards an application for the Allegheny Together program. Hopefully, with the support of the rural councils, the program talks about the counties, where the application will call for a mix of technical assistance and direct funding for a sort of Main Street oriented business district improvement. And right now, what we're trying to do is gather information from business owners about what their experience in Swissvale has been like, what they'd like to see through the Allegheny Together program, and what we might focus on in that application to support it. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, now we're going to be doing our interviews for the Transportation Advisory Committee. Just to update everyone, we started our interviews last week, but there were a couple of folks that weren't able to make it, so we are making space for them today for us to interview them about the position. So first up, we have, Mr. Brandon Jennings.
Everybody.
Hello, Mr. Jennings. So this is like a really relaxed kind of thing, yeah, relatively
Yeah.
speaking. So we just want to know why you want to be on the advisory committee.
Well, funny enough, my wife and I just got back from Europe recently. Been a few times, but now that since moving back to Pittsburgh and now having to actually commute work myself now for us for both traveling, it's kind of more in my face now as far as, Pittsburgh infrastructure, especially when it comes to transit. We all know what a disastrous Squirrel Tunnel is. And so I've kind of been in my brain on this like just thought mission of what it would be like to sort of transform Pittsburgh area in terms of transportation, things like that. And so when the transportation committee sort of came on my radar, I thought maybe it's an opportunity to make at least a small impact. Smithville's not all of Pittsburgh, but it's a start. And Smithville presents a unique opportunity in that regard because it's streets are narrow. We got Braddock Avenue, which is like a major throughway of traffic and things like that. And I know there's been a lot of effort with SECCO and our initiatives, borough building and such that I think is going to drive a lot of attention and potentially drive attraction and things like that to the borough. So it becomes pretty imperative in order to be able to accommodate for, influx of people, which I know Pittsburgh in general has had a hard time doing. But with that also comes with the respect of people who like to bike, walkers, pedestrians, and things like that. So it's a very walkable town. But obviously everybody has cars. And so I think it's pretty important to have solutions in place, both reactive to how things are now and also preventative measures for the inevitable population increase we're going to have over great and stuff that we're doing here.
Perfect, thank you. And do you have any questions for us, or does this council have any questions for you?
I have one question.
Yeah.
In your recent trip to Europe, did you get any ideas over there as to something you maybe make sense as well?
Yes, probably way outside of our budgets. But one thing that I really appreciated over there, I always appreciate every time I go over there, is the investment in public transit. We all probably familiar with the history of the American dream and suburbs and cars and all that stuff, which is why all we have is like the Amtrak. And so in the trolley, for example, that used to be here, the rail tracks and stuff. I mean, in theory, kind of going back to it, I kind of wish it was still around, maybe just developed more instead of just disappearing and then doing the car thing. In general, I think like the busway and T could have used like way more investment in that aspect. So to answer your question, there are some ideas that are sort of on that grander scale of really investing in public transportation as a whole, but obviously Swissvale doesn't need like its own subway system or anything like that. But certainly getting more creative with parking spaces. I know parking over there, everything in Europe, everybody who's been, as you know, is very narrow and small. So coming up with more creative solutions as far as, okay, if you're going to have parking, right? What's a better way to do it than just have massive parking lots that are now taking up space and you can't utilize them for anything else? Things like that. And they're real big on the biking and walking and things out there. So there's plenty of room and designs for that style of traffic. So there's certainly opportunity in that regard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No questions, but thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much. And Nikki Nebraska.
It's a lot.
Welcome back. Thank you. What's up?
So we just spoke to you a minute ago, but could you tell us why you're interested on being on Transportation Advisory Committee?
Yeah, so I'm I'm a resident of Swissvale. I have a family, young kid. I'm a user of active transportation myself. Engaged with Setco and other community groups, and I care greatly that our community is accessible to a wide variety of people, that it accommodates a lot of different uses, that our streets are safe, and other issues that I think an active transportation committee might be pretty well poised to address. Primarily, I hope that you guys are able to get robust engagement in the committee. If, like, I would be not at all disappointed if you get lots of applicants and choose people other than me. I'm one iota disappointed in that. What I hope happens is that you get very robust and diverse representation from different parts of Swissvale, so that this becomes a community-wide committee that can help address variety of things.
So either you're really good at reverse psychology, saying, I really don't want to. But no, it's obvious from your volunteerism, it's supposed to be dedicated to our borough, so thank you. Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you
Inner present.
questions.
To get it right, that's.
My question is, have you got like pretty good engagement from people who want to be on the committee?
Yeah,
It's like it's that.
We had 8 applicants for 7 positions.
All right.
But
if I were to sell yourself a little bit.
I really would be happy to be the eighth if there really are 7 positions. That's what I make what I care about is that, like, the committee is able to address a lot of different issues, because active transportation is complex.
We're always on ways to be engaged in requests, even if you're not on the city committee, there's other ways to engage them as well. So I just appreciate your leadership and stuff up regardless. It's very much.
Thanks very much, Fred.
it's good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so now it's time to get to the minutes and to approve the minutes from last time. Can I have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes of August 27, 2025 council agenda meeting and the September 3rd, 2025 council meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? And no abstentions. Okay, motion passes. I control over what I do, right? All right, going on to finances. Can we have a motion about our bills?
I move to approve the Borough of Smithville paid bills in the amount of $1,113,497.31.
Second.
Any discussion? Pay the bills, pay the bills, trying to pay my bills now, it's that time of the month. All right, so, all in favor of paying the bills? Aye. Abstentions? Disapprovals? All right, motion passes. I will not hit the gavel.
I move to approve ordinance 25-11, authorizing the incurring of non-electoral debt by the issuance of, thank you. The issuance of a general obligation note in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $2,500,000.
Second.
Any discussion? Got a lot of millions popping out around here. All right, all in favor? Aye, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion passes.
I move to approve memorandum of understanding with the Swissvale Police Officers Association to amend the collective bargaining agreement as follows. 1, Article 1, to allow newly hired police officers with a minimum of 2 years of full-time experience as a police officer to be paid as the patrol officer rate immediately upon hire. 2, Article 2, Section A, to be amended to allow for 12-hour shifts. 3, that the borough will agree to conduct an actuarial study to determine the financial feasibility of enacting a drop pension.
Second.
Any discussion?
I think we discussed last week that this is extremely important for recruitment and retention. I'm really hopeful and look forward to the drop pension study. I can't see how we can't do it, quite frankly. So it is my hope that that comes back in a positive light. I look forward to being able to recruit and retain the awesome talent that we've come to expect.
I think it's nice that we have more experienced officers coming in, and that it makes our department very attractive to experienced officers. So we're not just training folks, which we do very well, but that, we have also a lot of experience,
Yes.
of course. All right, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, and we have two motions that we're going to have discussion with Mr. Batch.
Yeah, the next two items, contracts and agreements, item 1 and 2, the Wilton School Community Center sidewalk and roof for the food pantry. I was gonna ask if you would consider tabling these for tonight. Reason being, there's no state budget in place and there's no method of getting reimbursed for these until there is. And last year we had a cash flow issue at the end of the year because we had outstanding grants that we were not getting reimbursed from in a timely manner. I don't want to take on $276,000 in projects in October and not get reimbursed until. So if you could ask us to take these.
I move to table a contract with Avelli Construction in the amount of $154,550 for the sidewalk replacement project at the Wilton School Community Center located at 7604 Charleston Avenue.
Second.
Motion table. Shelved.
Well, motion table.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Oppositions? Oh. Okay, right, all right. Second one,
I moved to approve a contract like B.
Yeah, take-
I moved to table to approve the contract with like $122,000 for the replacement of the roof at the Smithsonian Food Pantry located at 228 Noble Street under Coast Guard's contract number 07082.
Second.
any against? Oh, that makes sure everybody's.
Aye.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the Thomas Alexander Company to allow the property owner to access their property through the borough-owned property known as parcel number 178-H-42 for the purposes of trash collection.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just to clarify, it's the property at 2116 South Braddock Avenue, which somehow did not get on there.
And I think we discussed this last week, and once again, probably would be good in terms of the improvements that we made to the property as we, it would even be to us as trash collection, perhaps, so. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Abstentions? Motion passes. So now we get to the section of council discretionary funds. There's a lot of them. I guess it's one at a time.
I move to approve the allocation of $6,550 of council discretionary funds as a donation to the Smithsville Library.
Second.
Any discussion?
The library is important in our communities for individuals who may not have access to computers, access to books, access to knowledge. The library is important. So these funds I'm sure will be beneficial and help grow our community library.
Yeah, I can't wait to go there. I'm going to the old
I
one.
love the library.
I love the Little Creek place.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $5,500 of council discretionary funds to pay dues to Welcoming America Inc.
Second.
Any discussion?
So this is the one we had tabled last month, I believe. If you choose not to approve it, these funds will go to the food pantry, so it's.
But do you have some background information you want to share?
Well, we've already discussed everything.
Okay,
It's just that the nothing has changed
okay.
at this point. I'm fine either way, like I said, I think either way would help, but I think I got more assurance last week that it was all resources we could use, so I'm fine.
Can I move to amend this? And if the gentleman would agree, if we find that have permission to use the county's membership, can we then move these to, is that allowed? Fine. Amend it to,
So
So say we do use the county's membership, can we basically put this on hold,
or can we automatically move it to the funding?
it's straight there.
Include that.
Is that like a conditional motion saying that it'll be approved conditional on determining whether it might.
Correct. If the gentleman will be.
That's fine, I guess in the event we cannot, what would the plan be? We could just come back and the plan again.
If you can't use that county membership, then go to our.
As long as you all are okay, then yeah.
Right.
Totally done.
Yeah, if we can use the counties, then we don't need to go to the food bank, as you would suggest, if that's.
Yeah.
And if we can't use it, then we get the membership.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so amend it and then second.
I move to approve the allocation of $55,500 council discretionary funds to pay dues to Welcoming America Inc. under the condition, if we can use the county funds, then we can move the funds over to the Swiss Local Venture.
Second.
Oh, what's it?
Any discussion? We just have one. All in favor? Any opposition? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Second. I move to approve the allocation of $9,700 of council discretionary funds as a donation to Swiss Local Pantry.
Second,
Any discussion?
young Brandon, our community,
Yeah.
in this climate, regardless of the climate conditions, but it's important that we make sure that every fund is.
It's the holiday season, it's coming.
And holidays.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $4,500 of council discretionary funds as a donation to the Woodland Hills Foundation Backpacks of Hope program.
Second,
Any discussion?
same thing.
It's a wonderful program.
At Bay, you know, I don't know how I know about the theater, but I was afraid that, President Ansel brought it to my attention. I'm grateful to donate to this, but yes, important that every child has a meal and government.
Helps.
It's even more important now.
Yeah,
We have both the food banks, the Welcome to America, the Swissville Library, and this backpack program. Where we have an administration who's going to continue to attack the social. That helps.
tracks.
Right. So as far as I'm concerned, these are appropriate uses for these funds.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $7,000 in council discretionary funds as a donation to the annual Juneteenth celebration.
Second.
Discussion?
Not one.
Discussed it last week. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
I move to approve.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. Pause. Opposition? One. Abstentions? Motion passes. Next.
I move to approve the allocation of $11,850 in council discretionary funds to be used toward the purchase of property in the Woodstock Avenue corridor for recreation purposes.
Second.
Any discussion? So when I propose this, not only does it go towards hopefully helping to buy the property or some property for recreation in Woodstock, but if it does not But if it's impossible for us to buy it, it should go to another low income area where it can help with recreational activities. I think it's very important, for kids to have something to do so they can stay up. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposition? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $2,650 in council discretionary funds to create an apprenticeship program to help fix Swissville's brick roads.
Second.
Discussion.
Again, the goal of this won't even touch what we're probably gonna have to do. But there is an interest by the bricklayers union, and there's an interest in the community to maintain our roads in a very, especially our brick roads. I mean, they're fun. A lot of folks bought their houses because of brick roads. And if you've driven through our neighborhoods, sometimes you feel like you're going through a toboggan. It's fun, but not for the shocks of the cars. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to really explore this. And again, if the program cannot come to fruition by the end of my term, I propose these funds to go back to general.
I really like the idea that this can, really help with the apprenticeship program. I think that's great, particularly for the bricklayers, that I saw them, marching, for the Labor Day parade. So it's nice to bring folks up and to have a project that they can do. We have plenty of bricks around here, so it'd be nice if, we can use that young labor to like put it in place. So all for it. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposition? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $1,000 in council discretionary funds to fund the purchase of equipment for the police department that is necessary for accreditation.
Second.
Any discussion? Let's get those police accredited. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. That's what I have to say. No. Okay, next.
I move to approve the allocation of $3,500 in council discretionary funds for the purchase of tables and chairs to be used for borough events.
Second.
Any discussion?
I haven't been back, so purchase of chairs is appreciated.
Didn't invest between all the community events that we do have. It's important that, people can have access to table and chair. That'll sustain for a couple of years.
Yes, it's very sad sometimes when you count out how many tables you thought you were gonna have, and there's a couple of broken ones on trucks, so, yes. All in favor? Aye. Opposition? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $2,000 in council discretionary funds for project implementation on vacant lots in the borough.
Second. Any discussion? I will say that we have been working very hard with Setco and with the professors from Youngstown, University of Pittsburgh, in order to really take a very thoughtful position and intentional position in terms of what to do with our vacant lots. And I think this money will go towards helping to start a project that we can do in one of the lots, hopefully. So I think it's important that we actually try to, do a little more and help get that started. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposition? Abstention? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $1,000 in council discretionary funds to be used towards construction of the plaza and basketball court at the borough building.
Second. I know it's a small donation and a larger still, I think once the building is built and once the basketball court, please support it for the youth in our community. It'll be a nice place to be able to play basketball and get recreation again.
Yeah, that was always our intention to have this here, and we had to take it out in order to, fully fund the building. So I'm hopeful we'll be able to get some grants down the line.
Right.
So come in handy for something, with that. Okay, all in favor?
I was just gonna say, I thought it would have been nice if we had reallocated some of our funds to do this project and just finish it, have it done. We've had a lot of council discretionary funds, but I guess, like Angela said, $1,000 is better than nothing, so maybe we'll get it done one day.
When I saw it, I was like, yeah, please start, you know what I mean?
Thank you for starting that.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
I move to approve the allocation of $1,000 of council discretionary funds to be used to host a Swissville organizational summit.
Second.
Discussion?
That sounds fun. I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, I looked back at the, footage, I think it was Seth, that said something about a summit, and it makes sense if we can get all the different organizations and different people, the interested parties, that are interested in Swissvale, and we have them in a place talking at the same time, so that we don't just find out about a project by accident because someone happened to be on the committee that day and heard about it. So all in for this, and, I know I'm gonna be tapping SEDCO and SAD and all the other organizations to help organize this. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposition? Abstention? All right, motion passes. And now we get to the reports. This is the nitty gritty. Okay, COG report, Ms. Striblin?
Yes, we had a meeting a couple weeks ago, the background, meeting together. Just a few notes to talk about our, what we'll have. He talked about an approach regarding our creation of a fire code appeals board, like an existing, UCC and property maintenance appeals board. It is anticipated that there will be a lot of appeals, but if there is one, it's important to have a board in place. As such, I will be providing more information, the corporation agreements and bylaws in the template resolution for town review and approve with desire. And Mr. Roham wanted to, speak a little further than that, if you can.
Yeah, it just seemed a natural evolution since most of the members of COG are a member of the UCC Board of Appeals, the IPMC Board of Appeals. And more communities are adopting the International Fire Code as a supplemental fire code maintenance ordinance. So and it's a lot of effort to try to have one on your own and find people from your community because they're special, they have to have special training and meet qualifications. I'm sure Amanda went over some of that stuff with you. And it's hard to find for the small pool.
Okay.
So it makes sense to go that direction. And she opened, with open arms, embraced it.
Right,
Obviously, she's running with it, so
yeah, exactly.
hopefully it'll be another accomplishment that you can get done.
Thanks so much for your input. And we're also due to all the different, like emergency preparedness, disaster relief, most people. We will have that, when storms come about, we wonder, okay, we're running this crime, and so they're actually organizing another event at the Road Convention Center, which promotes more importance on disaster preparedness in the future on what we can do in case of emergency. And lastly, if approved by the board, our 2026 factor budget will allow for a decrease in price for the use of that service. We can do this because of our loan is paid, and we want to do this to encourage more use of the truck, maintaining catch basins and see what the department in annual maintenance. 2026 would be a good value to get this work done quickly. And so we hear that in option days is starting with March. And that's all I have.
Very much, Mr. Striblin.
You're welcome. Dr.
Mrs. Scribbling, I would recommend and encourage the COG to bring the utilities, specifically Duquesne Light, to those meetings so they can continue to give us answers as to what they're actually going to do, rather than hiding and ignoring us.
Also, I'm thinking, I'm gonna try to get, Amanda herself to come kind of talk to her overall, to let us know what exactly the COG does, how she can help on to benefit our. That's my report.
Thank you, Ms. Striblin. The next report, not much to report. They're still working on funding, and trying to make sure that we get funding, but we don't have a budget for the state yet. So, that's kind of on hold. No one knows where anything is going, at the moment, but they're working on it. And they have also agreed to help us, with some of, in writing grants for some of the projects we want to do. But we want to get that in the future, and it depends on where we go with state non-budget. So that is for now. Hopefully I'll have more information at the next time. All right, President's report. What? Oh, Mr. Ansel said nothing for today. We're gonna go to the mayor's report.
Well, happy fall, everyone. It's gonna be a busy fall for Swissvale. So let's start off with Community Days, October 25th. That's also the day of our Halloween parade. The parade will start at 2:00 p.m. on Collingwood Avenue with all the boys and girls and led by the Woodland Hills High School Band. We'll parade down to Memorial Park, and there we'll have our trick or treating and start the festivities for our Community Days.
Is that Saturday?
Saturday, October 25th. So what we can expect are kids dressed in costumes, trick or treating down along all the booths. Hopefully the booths are manned by our community groups with activities and games and food and just a lot of fun. During that time, the Woodland Hills Band will perform their halftime show. And then the stage will be taken by Dr. Zoot again. And we're gonna have a really great time. Fire pits, just a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately, we're not doing fireworks this year. It is not in our budget. And everything's gone up. Fireworks have gone up about $1,500 more than we were spending. And I'm just trying to be fiscally responsible, and I don't think we'll afford it. So if anybody would like to donate to Firework Fund, we've been doing fireworks in Swissvale for 20 years at our Community Days, and everybody looks forward to it. But sadly, if the community doesn't pull together and we get some donations, then we will not have fireworks this year.
So I wonder, could they do a drone show? Is that?
Let me just look it up. The smaller drone shows start at $15,000.
Wow. No drone show.
Yeah.
We'll have people with lasers.
Up to $200,000.
So when I was 5,000.
We can do what drone? I got a drone at the house.
Freddie, you got like a.
So, if anybody can come up with some ways to raise funds and or donate,
Is
Swissvale will love you.
Is there a way? Well, we kind of want to know, right? Will there be a way if we didn't do Welcome to America, if we could have did 35 million kids?
To reallocate it, you could introduce a motion to change it.
But after now.
Because this is budget.
So
We'll wait till after she.
Okay.
finishes.
Well, is there, if you were to do that, is there time to engage fireworks company for?
it's gonna be this looks possible.
Yeah, I just not sure there.
So you still have time to do.
Oh,
That's 500. You get 500 to hold it there.
And so with that, so I would move, because it would be. There's 5,500 allocated now, so I would just move to 3,000. Why don't we just do that? Can we just allocate 3,000 for 3 years of Welcome to America? That's 1,000 a year, correct?
Yeah.
And so we just do 3 years of Welcome to America, and then 2,000 to that. 2,500 to that. Is that possible?
That's possible, that help, $2,500 make.
I move to amend. Please bear with me, everyone. I move to amend the allocation of $5,500 as follows. I move to allocate $3,000 towards Welcome to America under the condition that we could not use, or under the condition that we can use the county's membership. If we could not, I move to use that for 3 years of Welcome to America membership. And I move to approve $2,000 in funding towards Swissvale, $2,500 of funding towards Swissvale. Thanks. Did I say that?
$500.
Okay. I love this,
Someone to second that motion.
Somebody has to say
All right, all in favor?
it?
Opposed? Opposed? Opposed, one opposition, abstention, all right.
I'd like to also point out that we had a donation that happened here in real time at this table right here. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Definitely. What were,
Thank you.
what was your?
For contributing $500. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So with that said, thank you, everybody.
Of course.
I'm very excited. Also, so Swissville Farmers Market goes until October 25th. Right here at Dixon parking lot. Please do patronize it. This has been our best year so far. And when October 25th is their last day, and then they will be at the Swissville Light Up Night, December 6th. We're doing a vendors market along with Swissville Light Up Night. That is from 5 to 8 at the Swissville Volunteer Fire Department / Swissville Fire Department. So, marking December 6th. 5 to 8. And trick or treat will be on Halloween, October 31st from 6 to 8. Turn on your porch lights and give the kids some treats. And, oh, and one last item. Congratulations, Councilwoman Brittany and your fiance Natalie. Weekend is their upcoming nuptials.
I don't think my son.
And I told you it was gonna be a busy fall, right? And that's my report. Questions, comments, or concerns?
If you have treats for children who have, like allergies or, sensory issues or something like that, don't you have it like in a blue pumpkin? Is that the thing? That you have a blue pumpkin to indicate that it's like a non-peanut, non-allergen type treat or something?
Maybe something.
I think it goes just for
the girls.
Yeah, it's like it's a special thing. So if you know that, you're gonna have special things, I think it's a different color pumpkin. I know that I haven't done it in a long time, but, if, think of all the kids out there that might not be able to eat the traditional candy. So try to have a little something, for those kids who come by and maybe, doesn't necessarily have to be, but something they participate with. All right, thank you, Mayor, appreciate it. And now, Borough Manager's Report, Mr. Batchy.
Thank you, ma'am. Planning Commission will be meeting on October 16th to discuss the request for conditional use from Power to operate a daycare center at their new facility on Core Avenue. That will be followed by a public hearing on the matter in front of council on October 29th at 6:30 p.m. So I'll get that scheduled for 29th.
Okay. Just hear what time it is, that's all.
Second thing is the Regional Police Commission for Braddock Hills and Swissville Police Department will have their initial meeting on October 20th at 6 p.m. That will be held at the Swissville Borough offices on Evans Street. It's a public meeting, anyone can attend if they wish. The most important thing from this meeting, you can pick a name. So any of you that are on the police commission, come armed with a bunch of names. I know Chief Watson is going to suggest some also. He's bringing a list, but without a name, we can't do the incorporation, we can't do the EIN, the ORI number, or Debbie Waller until we have a name.
I will email that suggestion list.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, and we'll send the agenda out either for the meeting, either at the end of this week, beginning of next week. Cheryl and I, Cheryl from Braddock Hills and I are working on the agenda. We'll get it out to everybody before month out. But we need a date.
And if anybody in the community watching or here has any suggestions, those of us on the committee, this table here, and Chris and Josh, send us your thought. This is your police department.
Yeah.
We want, I mean, I want to hear from you. I know my colleagues do as well. We want to hear from you. Don't leave it to us.
All right, continue.
Yeah, next thing is, we did push the deadline back for police applicants to this Friday, October tenth. Pending the approval of the, memorandum of understanding with the police department for those things. We discussed earlier in the meeting, we're hoping to get a few, more seasoned officers will apply now because they don't have to take a $20,000 pay cut to go backwards, start at the entry level salary, they can start the, to get the, full patrol officer salary. So we may get some good people from other departments who are looking for a change scenery. So the due deadline is this Friday, the tenth. Testing is October 14th at the police academy. Borough building, I don't know if you noticed, we have floors now. So moving our stuff in this week, we're gonna have, put the tape on the ground where the desk goes, and we sit on bill crates. We have spent $1,722,257.22 on the project so far, which is 21.17% complete. General contractor is 28.6% complete. Overall, the project's 21.17%. Last thing, or well, next last thing, sorry, is last year we applied for a grant, and I don't know whether it's through Allegheny Places or Allegheny Together, but there's so many of these different grant projects, grant pools. But it was to do a study to determine the routing of the trail from that we're looking at from Oriole Park all the way to Rankin to Perry Furnace, to do some engineering work and such. We did not get funded for that, as I reported 6 months ago. We did not get funding for that. However, Jacqueline Kowalski at the Allegheny County Economic Development Office has been in touch with me. Her and another lady, Ann Overall. They had suggested we apply to the REACH program. REACH program is similar to the Allegheny Places, Allegheny Together program, but it is for municipalities that have a higher concentration of minority residents. And it is only available in certain communities with federal income. However, they only have $100,000 in funding to be shared between all the communities who applied. So, one community applied, so we got the whole 100,000. So I wrote a paragraph. It wasn't much effort. That was the easiest 100 grand.
That's a trick, right?
The less effort, the better. But so we did get the $100,000. She sent me, Jacqueline sent me the contract yesterday. I didn't know until yesterday how much we're getting. The contract says $100,000. So find that and you get to work. We're working with Mr. and Mrs. Miller, given Mary Miller and a few others on this to get this off the ground. And we will get to work on this, come up. Start developing an RFP for a consultant. Now we know how much we have, so we can get a pretty in-depth plan, get a lot of engineering, preliminary engineering, maybe some final engineering work done. So, and the last thing I have, we will have a brief executive session. Discuss a possible, would be a possible conviction down the road.
Exactly. Thank you. And now Borough Engineers Report. This is Scott.
Thank you, Madam. Just a couple of updates. We are continuing to work on several projects in preparation for putting them out for bid. They probably fall mostly along the same guidelines the manager talked about. But we can still hold those bids. We can hold the bids for a minimum of 60 days. In most cases, contractors they want the project, so they're willing to go longer. Hopefully, the state still may want to go another 90 days, but who knows? We do have one project that is funded through Alexander Grow that is not affected by that. That project we can put it ahead of some of the other ones that move with it. But things are still progressing, and we'll be ready for them when they have the funding available for us. That's all I have.
This is Scott. And of course, my personal favorite report, from
What's the phone number?
112.
There you go. I won't even have to say it.
It's all so much better.
Okay. This is an an overview of the board meeting that was held on September 23rd. Penvest grant for phase 3, 130 replacements have been completed since the last update. Phase 4, the team is assembling documents for the application that's due at the end of this month. The Customer Advisory Committee met on September 16th, and the discussion was around people, getting more people sign up for lead line replacements. The next meeting is December 9th. Additionally, per Representative Abigail Salisbury's weekly newsletter, former Swissvale Councilman Daryl Rep has been added to the committee. A website update, how to find what service line you have. It's called Check Your Service Line Material, has been added to the front page of the website for ease. And main line breaks, there were 40 system-wide, the borough had 1. And there were 165 distribution or service repairs, Swissvale had 32. Other business was conducted, documents are online, and if you have any or see any water issues, please contact WPJ-WA Customer Service at 412-243-6200. That's my report. Any questions?
Thank you.
I will add something to the mayor's report. Senator Jay Costa has a shredding event at Woodland Hills High School on the 18th from 9:30 to 12.
Thank you. All right, and now for our solicitor's report, Mr. McTiernan.
I have nothing to add to the agenda tonight, Madam President, after somebody gave up $1,000, I see.
Money flowing today. All right, Mr. Wilhelm, is there still a fish fry going on?
The first Friday in November.
The first Friday of November, okay, gotta remember that, first Friday of November, our stellar fish fry.
Now that October is packed,
Well, not
let's
only-
now start planning. for that point.
All right, so can I have a motion to adjourn at 7:53 PM?
What's to adjourn?
Second.